Neon Genesis Evangelion is my favorite anime of all time. No other piece of media has really blown me away in the same way that series has. Every time I rewatch that show, it still holds up, and I still, every time, hold it in such a high regard. It's so good. And the End of Evangelion, the movie that is the finale to that TV series, I mean, my God, what an absolute masterpiece of a film. No other movie has quite shocked me in the same way that movie has. I mean, it's super shocking, but it's also a really moving film as well. There's just so much about it that I love, and same with the TV series as well. And the rebuild films are also pretty good too. I really love those as well, but we ain't talking about the in-depths of all of this Eva stuff. We're going to be talking about something pretty specific. We're going to be talking about the Manga Entertainment release of the End of Evangelion on DVD. So the original Evangelion TV series, the 26-episode TV series, was distributed by ADV Films. They originally did it on VHS. I got 3 of them, you know, just in case. And then they eventually released them on DVD as well. There's also like this weird Laserdisc release, but we're not talking about that because ADV Films, you know, they did the series, the TV series, but they did not distribute the End of Evangelion. So it was up to Manga Entertainment to give us a release of this film. How did they do? So Manga Entertainment released this DVD in September 24th, 2002. They also released Evangelion Death and Rebirth sometime in July. I've actually never watched Death and Rebirth. I should probably get on that. I mean, am I a fake Eva fan for not doing that? I don't know. Without further ado, let's really just get into the nitty-gritty about why this DVD is just not good. So let's start digging into this. But before we open it up, I gotta say, they absolutely chose like the best cover art they could have for this DVD. The original poster for the End of Evangelion was like way different from when they like released it in theaters. It's a very cool poster, but I think this one has honestly become more iconic than that one. I mean, everywhere when you look up this movie, you see this poster all the time, and Manga Entertainment, they were like the first ones to really like release it like this. I think this art was included in the original Japanese Laserdisc, which I really want, but again, it wasn't like the focal cover. And then there's the back with some screenshots of the film, typical stuff. So you open up the DVD case, and what do you see? Well, you see 2 things. You see a poster, which is really cool. Both releases of the End of Evangelion and Death and Rebirth both have posters, which is really cool. And it's pretty cool that both of mine still have them. But then you'll also notice the disc. It doesn't have any disc art. Now, the Death and Rebirth DVD, there's a reason for that. There's data on both sides of the Death and Rebirth disc. There's some DVDs back in the day that would do that. This is the only example of that I know of. But with the End of Evangelion DVD, there is no data on the top side of that disc. So they were just lazy, and they just didn't feel like making disc art. That is super lame in my opinion. It just looks so stupid, man. Again, the Death and Rebirth DVD, it had a reason to have no disc art, but it's just, what was going on? They're already off to a bad start with that. But this is where it truly takes a nosedive. You pop this DVD in, and what do you get? Well, what you get is just absolutely horrendous video quality. I am not even exaggerating when I say this. I mean, just look at the screen. This picture quality it's just unacceptable. The movie is so blurry and pixelated, it makes small details a lot harder to see. And the contrast is turned way up, making scenes look super bright and washed out. It's really, really bad. The high contrast also makes it lose a ton of detail too, which is really, really annoying. Now, I know this is a like 20-plus-year-old DVD from 2002, but this is genuinely some of the worst picture quality I have ever seen on a DVD. Now, you may be saying, well, on a CRT, you wouldn't be able to notice this. And that is partially true. I was playing this movie on a CRT TV, and you really don't notice it too much. Now, you can still notice the high contrast. That is inexcusable. That's still very noticeable. But the pixelation and blurriness, it's kind of filtered out with the CRT TV. The CRT TVs are really good at masking that kind of stuff. And I'm also using composite video as well on my Sony Trinitron. So, you know, it's not the best video signal. A lot of people were using composite back in the day, so fair enough, I guess. But I can still notice just it being slightly blurry, and the contrast is just inexcusable. I mean, it's still noticeable on any display. Now, let's compare this End of Evangelion DVD to another DVD of a different movie released around a year later. This is the Cowboy Bebop movie. This is a great movie, by the way, but even on a CRT, I could notice that the picture quality was just so much better. Now, I know it's not entirely a fair comparison, but still, it looked really damn good and a lot better than the End of Evangelion DVD. It looked a lot clearer. Now, all of this is really hard to notice with the recordings of my CRT TV in action, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Now, it isn't just the picture quality that's bad. It also has to do with the movie not being presented in anamorphic widescreen. Now, what is anamorphic widescreen? Anamorphic widescreen is essentially when you use a widescreen DVD on a 4:3 display. It presents itself in a letterboxed format, which leaves two black bars on the top and bottom of the screen. But when you use that same DVD on a 16:9 display, given your DVD or whatever you're playing it on is set to 16:9, it will fill the entire 16:9 widescreen display. Now, with the Manga Entertainment DVD of the End of Evangelion, when you play it on a 16:9 display, it does not fill the entire screen. That is because for this DVD, the letterboxed black bars, they're baked into the video. They rendered the movie in letterboxed format, meaning like it will not adapt to a 16:9 display. This is just incredibly baffling because there were DVDs released around the same time that had anamorphic widescreen. Like, why couldn't have this one had that? I mean, the Cowboy Bebop movie DVD that released around a year later had anamorphic widescreen. When I play it on a 16:9 display, it fills the whole screen. And when it's on a 4:3 display, it fits into the letterbox format. So why couldn't it have the End of Eva DVD done this? Now, this really isn't an issue on a CRT TV. And, you know, back in the day, not a lot of people had widescreen display, so it wasn't a huge issue. But again, there were other DVDs around the same time that you know, were anamorphic. This one, it just couldn't for some reason. It could have totally, but I don't know what was going on there. Now, you can zoom in the movie with some settings on your widescreen TV, and that definitely does, you know, fix the issue to an extent, but you still have to deal with the absolutely atrocious video quality. But whatever, it's zoomed in now, so be it. But if you're watching it subtitled, guess what, buddy? Those subtitles are on the black bars, on the bottom black bar. So if you zoom it in, it cuts off the subtitles. So, sorry, Japanese audio listeners, you're shit out of luck. I definitely prefer to watch Evangelion in Japanese. It's, at this point, my preferred way to watch it. I did originally watch it with the Netflix dub, which I think is an okay dub. It didn't ruin my experience with the series at all. And then I later watched the ADV Films dub, which I absolutely love that dub. I definitely recommend checking that one out. It hasn't aged the best, but the ADV Films dub is really iconic. It's totally worth a watch, but for most of the time, you know, I just prefer to watch it in Japanese. It's the most consistent, and it's just better overall. So yeah, it really sucks that if you want to watch this movie subtitled with this DVD, you're out of luck, dude. You just gotta watch it in letterboxed on a 16:9 display. Super annoying. Since we're on the subject of dubs, Manga Entertainment did give the End of Evangelion a dub. The Manga Entertainment dub of the End of Evangelion, in my opinion, is kind of a mixed bag. Most of the original cast all reprises their roles, and I think they all do a really good job. But some of the side characters and just kind of background characters, they don't do the best, and no hate to them and all. They're just doing the best they can. But it could be better.
Ava Unit 1 has been captured!
Ascending to 12,000 meters. 12,000, it's still rising.
Those bastards. Sele is planning to use Unit 1 as a medium.
And this is all subjective, of course, and it's not like the ADV Films dub of the Evangelion TV series is like a masterpiece or anything, but still, the manga dub is a mixed bag. Now, the dub is very watchable, even if it is a mixed bag, and it could be better. But what absolutely kills it for me is that they added in cartoony-ass splatter sound effects into the film. Here's an example of when the sound effect is used. It's in the scene where Misato goes to save Shinji. It's a really tense scene, but here's what it sounds like in the original version. And here's what it sounds like in the Manga Entertainment dub.
Hey, no offense taken.
Notice the difference? If you don't, let's play it again. They really did that. They really put a cartoony-ass splatter sound effect in this serious, very serious End of Evangelion movie. Like, it just blows my mind. It's so incredibly jarring that, like, every time I hear it, like, the fact that he even put it in, it was even allowed to be put in, it just blows my mind. It really takes me out of the experience when I hear it. It's just not right, man. The End of Evangelion, it's not, just a lighthearted, funny film. It's a serious movie. It just doesn't feel very tasteful of an inclusion, in my opinion. I'm good. I'd rather it not be in this. And the crazy thing is, this isn't even the only time they use it. I don't know exactly how many times they use it, but one is already too much. But here's another instance of them using it. And the cherry on top of all of this is that they put 2 credit sequences in the movie. Now, this doesn't sound that bad at first, but just hear me out. So in the End of Evangelion, there is a credit sequence in the middle of the movie, as most of you may know. I really think it is really smart that they put it in the middle, because it's just a really nice debrief, after the first act, and it gets you ready and just chilled out for the next act. But when the movie finally ends with that crazy ass beach scene, the movie ends and it just goes to a white screen, and it's really weird like that, but I think that's really smart. I mean, it's such a cool way to end the movie. It really just sends the message of the movie home, and it's super cool that they do that. But of course, Manga Entertainment just had to add a credit sequence to the end of the movie. I mean, just come on. I mean, it completely ruins that artistic vision of that ending of the movie. It's just so dumb. I'm sorry. So yeah, that was the Manga Entertainment End of Evangelion DVD, and a little bit of the Death and Rebirth one as well. All the issues with this DVD apply to the Death and Rebirth one, except for the splatter sound effect. I don't think that was included, and I have no idea how the dub is like on this one either, so that's kind of up in the air. But yeah, there's absolutely no reason that you should be watching this version of the movie. Unless you've seen the movie like a million times, you're just like, you know, I feel like switching it up. I feel like watching it with the most blurry ass picture ever in high contrast, where it's like all washed out and it just looks horrible. Hey, then this is really the DVD for you. But if this is like your first time watching the movie, just do not watch this version. There's so many better ways you can watch it. Well, like a couple, but still. The best way to watch the End of Evangelion nowadays is definitely the Blu-ray version. The picture quality in the Evangelion Blu-ray is superb. It all looks really good, and it's no different for End of Evangelion. Looks really good in crisp 1080p. I mean, it's absolutely insane that this was, for a really long time, the only official way to watch the End of Evangelion in the United States of America, North America in general. It blows my mind that this is truly all we got. I heard that they were going to re-release this with much better picture quality, but that never happened, which really sucks, because for years this is how, you know, a lot of people experienced the movie, which I mean, it's the End of Evangelion, so even if you are watching on this, it's still great, but it's actively hindered on this version. It's really a shame. This is how a lot of people watched it. This DVD sucks.